Today we're trying a recipe for a high protein, 1 ingredient keto chip. And that one ingredient is unexpected. It's tofu. And before you click away, we have been trying a couple different recipes about tofu with tofu here on our channel, and they've turned out pretty awesome. One was a really thick udon noodle that was super soft and chewy. I don't know, it had a great chew to it. And the other one was a tofu pudding that kind of blew me away, honestly.
It tastes like a malt. Chocolate malt.
So this is extra firm tofu. I am not learned about the different firmnesses of tofu. It has about 2 grams of net carbs per 3 ounces. We're not going to be slicing this dough. We're going to be blending it and then creating chips out of the blended tofu. So that's the only ingredient that you're really going to need. You could use spices. That's probably preferred. We're probably going to go with some salt and pepper, but the main one is this. This video is sponsored by Element. Sarah and I have been drinking Element every single day since 2020 because we absolutely love the way it tastes and the way it makes us feel. Element is a delicious electrolyte drink mix that has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And this is important because when you go into ketosis, you shed a lot of water, and inside that water are your electrolytes. This can leave you feeling tired, having muscle cramps or nausea, and we call that the keto flu. Element replenishes your electrolytes so that you feel better. Sarah and I like all the flavors of Element, but our absolute favorites are the citrus salt and the grapefruit salt. You need to try them. And you can try Element completely risk-free. If there's any issues, just email them and they will make it right. Right now, Element is offering our Keto Twins community a free sample pack so you can try 8 of the flavors with any purchase. So you can buy some citrus salt and get a free sample pack. In order to get this deal, you must go to drinklmnt.com/ketotwins. So the reason why this recipe seemed intriguing to me is because they're not like slicing the tofu really thin, they're blending it. And they're spreading it on parchment paper, which reminds us of something else, which is the cottage cheese chip. And so that recipe actually started off kind of like in a different direction. Like we started just making it in a pan, and then we started blending the cottage cheese, and then we started adding a bunch of weird stuff into the cottage cheese to make it crispier. And this reminds me of that. The account this is coming from is Mrs. She, Mr. He on Instagram. We'll leave it linked in the description. You have to preheat your oven to 300 degrees, and this is one of those situations where you're gonna cook the chips low and slow. First up, we're gonna blend our extra firm tofu in a blender. War of the Worlds thing goes in here. You know what's funny? The War of the Worlds movie was based on an event where some radio person just decided one day to get on the radio and start telling a story, but no one heard the beginning that it was a story, and so the world started freaking out.
Dad remembers that.
He claimed that he heard it. I don't believe him.
When was that? What year was that?
I don't know.
ChatGPT.
Dad was born in 1939.
I swear he
What
said.
is going on here? Why
he
is
said
like...
that he had heard it on the radio.
I think maybe he heard a replay.
Oh.
We get so many questions about this thing.
It's
Hamilton Beach.
Hamilton Beach. Why is that funny to me? I don't know. Linked in the description, right?
Yes.
Looks nice and smooth.
Great. Here's the question. Do we use a brush or do I use a spoon? For some reason, I think that I want to use a spoon. That's what we do with the cottage cheese chips, and it works out nice. What do you think?
Why don't we try a couple with the spoon and some with the brush?
They said as thin and as even as possible. No thickness.
Okay. Does it spread at all?
It should. I'm just putting a dollop.
And then you're gonna spread it out?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna leave it like this.
I don't know. I don't read your mind. We used to be able to do that. Why are you doing it so loud?
I don't know. Okay, sorry about that, editors.
You have to listen to your voice the entire time.
Isn't that sad? Oh.
It says as thin as possible, so make them bigger, I guess. What kind of chip is that?
A square one, rectangle. It has to be able to be thick enough to be a chip.
Right.
What they did was, I don't know, ours looked thinner than that.
Okay,
So.
well, let's try it. We have more if we have to. You want to talk about the show that you've been talking about recently?
The show I've been talking about.
Bridezillas.
Oh, if you guys have Hulu, I'm telling you, block out a weekend and grab yourself something to eat. I don't know where they find these people, and I don't even know if they paid these people to be on the show.
I think they do pay them.
You know, when I was planning my wedding, I would watch Bridezillas so that Brad had some perspective.
It could be worse.
Yeah. He was like, you're right. It could be worse because these people are unhinged.
Yeah. This one looks weird. Okay.
What?
That looks...
I've just begun.
Okay.
So these have to cook for 40 minutes. That means I have to be here for 40 more minutes, at least. 1 ingredient chip going in. I don't want to admit it, but I'm having my doubts. So I'm gonna make another batch, but I'm gonna do the giant chip idea. This reminds me of mashed potatoes, so I was like, ooh, it does not smell like mashed potatoes.
Butter, garlic, sprinkling of mashed potato flake. I don't know.
Hey, people have eaten weirder things. Look at that.
Oh, you're using, I thought you were going to use offset spatula.
Listen to me. I'm doing this first. It's faster. The offset spatula is tiny. It's gonna take forever. Do you remember that we did a fair where we had to create a goods and we were supposed to be like in
Athens?
No,
Greece.
it was like Mesopotamia or something.
Greece. It was,
really?
I thought it was Greece.
What did I make?
I made flip-flops or...
I thought I did.
No, I made dolls with, I don't know what they were. Just doll heads.
And I made shoes.
Yeah, you made sandals.
Which is weird because I hate feet. So I'm like, here, just take them. Don't try them on here.
That was a fun idea, actually.
We had like a bartering thing, and she gave us fake money, and we had to go and barter.
What was her name?
Mrs. Fry. They told Mom that Sarah had handwriting of a serial killer. And she still does.
Every time I pick up my pen, it's a different
direction.
No, it's just a different way I hold it, so it comes out differently.
So we have two different options here. Hopefully one will turn out right.
We'll check back in 33 minutes.
Right.
Can you sit?
It's been in there for like an hour.
And we increased the heat a little bit.
Oh man.
A little thick.
I don't get it. I'm upset.
These look a little bit more promising.
Okay, well, we're gonna go downstairs and try them. Maybe we can improve on this recipe, or maybe we could just quit YouTube and, you know.
Let's eat it without the ranch first. I know that you're looking at the ranch already.
Anything can be saved with ranch.
Yeah.
Any problem can be solved with ranch or mayo. They're very, very
Crispy.
mm-hmm. Now, we didn't put any seasoning on these, and they definitely could use seasoning.
Right.
But these were far more successful than the big sheet. And we cooked it way longer than the video.
I mean, it's really going to depend on how much moisture is in your tofu. Maybe the creator pressed out a lot of the moisture in her batch. I don't know. But, you know, you just cook them until they become crispy, I guess, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We cooked them for a pretty long time. We upped the heat, and they're pretty resilient, I think.
Right.
They're pretty sturdy.
I mean, I
They're
think
good.
they need a flavor profile.
They need a dip.
Right.
Yeah, but they're very neutral
Now-
tasting.
Oh. Well. See, some of this is kind of, it's not crispy.
The outside is not as, it's like a lasagna
Can I slap
sheet.
you with it?
No, maybe, fine.
I missed.
No, you definitely had my cheek.
Oh, I did?
Yeah. I think the chip form is the way to go. I think it's a good idea to paint them on or to spread them out very thin and then cook them until they're dry and they kind of release themselves from the parchment paper.
Good.
The more I eat it, the more I'm used to the flavor.
And like I said, if you put a flavor in it, it's going to taste way better.
And one block is going to make a lot of chips.
Yeah. I mean, we had a lot left over even from this, but hundreds of chips. Yeah. Maybe there's some spin on it that you guys can...
If you guys do anything special with it, let us know. You guys are the ones that told us to put the cottage cheese chips in the microwave.
Right.
We always read the comments and we really appreciate the experiments that you guys do and your insights on those experiments. So if you guys want to see the video where we made tofu noodles that were keto friendly, you can click on the video on the screen and we'll see you over there. Anyway, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Emily.
And we are the Keto Twins signing out.